Guess which one of our favorite shows from the past decade could find a new life? Come on, guess. You know you wanna. It's your last chance to catch sight of a certain heavenly body in your lifetime. And no, we don't mean checking out my cleavage on the video feed. Thank you very much. Who will be the next George Lazenby in the Iron Man franchise? We've got the latest update on the awesomeness that is Lance Neutron, news from Flight Test Land, and an interview you cannot miss. That's all coming up on today's installment of Slice.
Covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Hola y saludos a todos.
Sliceofsci-fi.com.
Okay, I just about lost it on that tease. That was hilarious. Okay, I'm Michael Mennenga.
I am always professional, Brian Brown.
Okay.
Shenanigans, I'm Sam Roberts.
Professional Brian Brown.
Yes.
I'm Tom Kelly. Hello.
I'm Trouble. I brought my own rack.
Oh, no.
And I'm Megan. You will never see this.
And now for the news, well, I'm going to just stare at them the whole time, Megan. Let's go. News time.
And now the news.
Oh, but first, I'm going to talk about a little contest we're giving away real fast, okay?
Yeah.
We're doing a Mother's Day contest. No, not for Mother's Day specifically, but the movie Mother's Day. And here's a little code phrase for you. So, Trauma Pictures. That's our code phrase. So remember that. We're giving away 2 copies of the DVD Blu-ray combo pack. The details are on the Slice website. There we go. Now on to some news. Robert Downey Jr. has won rave reviews as his work as Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man on the silver screen. But fans should prepare themselves when there's a time where Downey is going to not be Tony Stark anymore, folks. Yeah.
Really?
Someday.
He's going to probably go to pursue other projects.
No.
That
It can't happen.
That time may be coming sooner than we might think. Because Downey's contract expires after 4 movies featuring Iron Man, and of course his price tag is also going to be cha-ching.
I mean,
a
at
lot
some
more.
point, he gets too expensive.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
No,
So,
but
before you can say reboot, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige says that he thinks Iron Man could take a page from the James Bond franchise and continue the films with a different actor playing Tony Stark.
I'm all for it.
Can you just regenerate?
I don't want another reboot. Try and find somebody who could do a different take.
Yeah, we cannot do another reboot.
I don't know if it'll work, but this is what he says. He says, I think Bond is a good example. Let's put it this way. I hope Downey makes a lot of movies for us as Stark. If and when he doesn't, I'm still here making these movies. We don't take him to Afghanistan and have him wounded again. I think we James Bond did, basically. When asked about how much longer he might play Stark, Downey wouldn't specify a timeline. He's very coy about it. Instead, saying that his continued involvement with the franchise came down to the quality control and delivering a product that you can have this kind of reaction to. Adding, if they keep doing it that way, maybe I'll keep showing up.
Okay.
You know what? That's good for him.
And
Good
so
for
on.
him.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
talk
that.
about a guy
Mrs.
who's
Potts.
really turned his life around from one aspect to completely the opposite. I mean,
I still don't know if they could do it like Bond or like Doctor Who. I
Yeah,
don't.
no.
I think God bless him for having the idea and trying that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think it's a good
Pass it
idea.
on to next of kin.
Truly, for me, he is so Tony Stark
Yes.
now that
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine even warming up to somebody else in that role.
But think about the original Bond.
I know.
There's still a lot of people who are pissed about George Lazenby taking
Yeah.
his
Well,
swing at it.
I mean, poor George never had a hope in hell.
No.
Actors also worry about getting typecast. I mean, there can be something there involved too. You never know.
He's already typecast. Are you kidding?
He is Iron Man.
He plays
Forever.
himself.
But to me, he's also Sherlock.
Yeah, you're right. It's
You
true.
know,
Well,
he's
that's
done
true,
a
too,
really
yeah.
good job of improving his career in the last couple of years, you know?
Sherlock really is just an old school Tony Stark in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
he's not your traditional Sherlock. I enjoy those movies, but as a mystery type person, that's not Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You're going to get me off on a tangent, so I'm going to read the next story.
Okay.
The future
There
of
you
Ridley
go.
Scott's Prometheus is in the hands of the MPAA.
Oh,
Be afraid. 20th Century Fox recently turned the final cut of the film over to the MPAA for a rating, and while the studio is hopeful for a box office-friendly PG-13, if the film earns an R rating, the studio head Tom Rothman says they won't ask Scott to make any cuts or trims to the film to get it down to a PG-13. I love you, Tom Rothman. Thank you.
Yeah. I hope it stays R.
I hope it's an R. I hope it's really personal.
This I can tell you, and I can tell all the fans, not one frame will be cut. The movie will be what it should be. We will not cut a frame of the film, he promised.
Thank you.
Good for him.
Yeah. Can we have a round of applause for this?
Absolutely.
That is the greatest thing I've heard.
It's actually a false statement because they're going to edit it and cut it anyways.
Well,
but
he says, we will stand behind it 100%, and if that means an R, then so be it, because it's not an ounce, not a percentage that we are going to compromise.
That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I'm pretty happy about that. Woo! Yeah, I know. Prometheus trailers are awesome. Skygazers will get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity on June 5th and 6th. That's when Venus will pass across the face of the sun and be visible there for about 6 hours as a black spot. If you want to check it out, you'll need to make sure your alarm goes off to let you know when it's happening, because the event won't happen again until 2117.
Yeah.
Wow.
One time and one time only in your life. Yeah.
Venus and Earth line up with the sun only rarely, because the two orbits at a slight angle to each other, meaning they generally Venus passes below or above the sun. Transits occur in pairs separated by 8 years. The last one was in 2004. And with a gap between pairs alternating between 105.5 and 121.5 years.
Wow.
So J.M. Passoff, an astronomer at Williams College, Massachusetts, says he's looking at for a phenomena called the black drop effect. Okay, this is a strange dark band linking Venus's silhouette with the sky outside the sun that appears for about a minute, starting just as Venus first enters the solar disk. That sounds kind of cool. Writing in Physics World, Pasikoff says the observations of the transit will help astronauts who are looking for extrasolar planets.
Wow.
So doing so verifies that the techniques for studying events on and around the other stars hold true for our own backyard.
Like,
Very cool.
like
Nice.
invisible planets because of something.
Well, because basically, they're
It's the
passing.
drop.
They're passing
Okay.
through there
Because it dims the light down. So.
Yep.
All righty.
I got good stuff.
Well, we need to go to Multiverse.
Okay.
Unfortunately. We might be able to get to it at the end here.
This is the Neutron Media Network.
Hello, I'm your new neighbor. Will you invite me in?
Sure, yeah. Come on in.
I hope it's not too late for you.
Oh no, it's just Twilight. You said you just moved into the neighborhood. I didn't know there were any houses around here for sale.
I bought the castle.
What castle?
The one on the mountaintop east of here.
Oh, I'll just turn the light on. You sparkle.
Well, yes. One must stay up with the fashions.
Are you bothered by vampires? Get Drakaway, the most effective non-gallic vampire repellent sold.
That smells awful. You have torn my stomach. I must live. Oh, there is no hospitality anymore. Oh, I want to go back to Transylvania.
Drakaway, you saved me.
Drakaway, rid yourself of pesky vampires without smelling like an Italian kitchen. For the makers of Good and Dead Counter-Reanimation Spray.
Neutron Media proudly presents
Batman, Spock, and Buffy on a routine expedition with the greatest earthquake ever known. High on the rapids struck their tiny raft.
Fascinating.
Plunged them down the deep space nine wormhole to the land of the lost.
There's a multi-legged creature crawling on your shoulder.
Didn't anyone ever warn you about playing with pointy sticks?
To the Batcave. We haven't one moment to lose.
to the land of the
And welcome back to more of Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm Michael Mennenga.
And I am Brian Brown. And folks, today we're talking with Casper Van Dien.
Yes, we are.
And
It's awesome.
We've talked many times because we know Starship Troopers is one of our favorite, anytime movies, you throw it in, you watch it. But he is going to be here at Phoenix for the Phoenix Comicon. So that's the main thing we're going to talk to him about. Hey, welcome to the show, Casper.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. So, you have a new movie coming up here soon.
I do.
The Pact. And that's the new one that's coming out. So why don't we talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about your appearance at Comicon.
Sure. The Pact was a horror movie I did last year that came out at Sundance, did really well, and it's going to go on, I guess, video on demand May 26th. And then 6 weeks later, it comes out July 6th in the theaters. So I think it's the new way that Independent Film Channel picked it up. And then in London, actually, it's going out on 350 screens June 8th. They really like it. They put in $4 million into P&A for it too. So
wow,
it's doing really well. It's a good little horror movie. It was fun to be in it because everybody, when I was watching it at Sundance for the premiere there, people were freaking out and jumping, just grabbing people next to them. And one of the girls that was one of the scarier girls in the movie started saying she hated the director, Nicholas McCarthy, and she's going, "Oh, God, I hate him. And then she got up and left, and she was so scared. But she was in the movie, so it was kind of funny to see that. I mean, I like scary movies, and it was fun to watch this one.
What was the Pact about? What's the story behind it all?
What's the story in this one? Well, there's this girl, Katie Lapps, who is starring in it, and she goes back because they can't find her sister, and goes back home because, she's just gone missing.
Okay.
And then there's some really creepy stuff that happens, and then she starts discovering things, and then she turns to me for help because nobody's believing her, and I'm a cop and kind of down on my luck, and
goes from there.
And horror ensues from there. I got it.
Okay.
It's one of those, you can't talk about it too much, otherwise you ruin it because there's so much, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Something like that. That's what they say. I don't know anymore. But whoever they are, they say that all the time.
Yeah, well, that's true. I can understand.
So this seems to be kind of the interesting thing that's happening with independent film, and I've been seeing this a lot lately, is that they're basically run them through these film festivals, see what kind of reaction they get, what kind of awards they are, and then if they're good, they get a little bit of praise, they get a little kudos, then all of a sudden the money goes and it hits from there. Is that accurate?
It was pretty much accurate, I would think. I mean, it was interesting for me to watch this and be a part of it because I hadn't done a Sundance film before, but I was excited. I've been doing this for 24 years, and I finally got to go to Sundance as a participant with a film, and to see the reaction of it. They only, I think, take like 1,000 films or something like that, or
it's really a small amount, yeah.
And maybe less than 1,000. I don't know what it is. Maybe a couple hundred films. I have no idea what it is. But out of that, the film got out of the top 10. It was ranked 8 for the year there. So it was not bad, especially because it wasn't going for the, the artsy, really, no offense.
Documentary, boring,
boring stuff that gets all the awards usually. It was going as a horror movie and horror thriller, and it came in number 8. 8 best films that coming out of Sundance this year. So I thought that was kind of cool.
And that's what I'm loving.
Well, that was done by the Sundance Channel. They voted on them, or they recorded them. So
wow,
right.
Okay,
and that's what I'm really loving about independent film, because independent film really did you hit the nail on the head. That staunch, snooty type of independent film. Oh, it's one of those movies where you very highbrow and it's really intellectual and stuff. And yeah, there's still some of that in there, but realistically, it's just a bunch of people that really like making film that are putting together projects that are just really entertaining. And I'm loving
the guy that directed this one, Nicholas McCarthy. He had made it a short the year before. And Ross Dinnerstein, the producer of our film, came to him and said, look, I'd like to make this into a film. And he did it within 1 year, and they had it back at Sundance. And that doesn't guarantee that just because somebody had a short at Sundance that it's going to then turn into a film. Otherwise, everybody'd be making shorts for Sundance. But it happened to turn around, and it did really well, and then Sundance liked it. And so it's gotten, and then the trailer for it, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but the trailer's up, and I've been putting it out on my Twitter, too, and Facebook and stuff, but they have there's a cool trailer that the English put out.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna have to dig around and find it now.
I didn't know there was a trailer out.
Yeah, I didn't know either. So now we know.
Trailers and pictures. Yeah, there's you can either go either on on my IMDb. I don't know if you're on IMDb Pro. You can get it off that. If not, if you go to Casper Van Dien or one of those, you can probably get it off of that because I retweet it and stuff like that too.
Very,
awesome.
Very cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Phoenix Comicon because that's the big reason that we have you on tonight. I mean, we were wondering what you have planned. I mean, obviously you're going to have an appearance, but is there an actual agenda that you're there for more than maybe just promoting your film and so forth?
Well, I'm going there and I'm going to meet and greet the fans, which I just started doing this last year, and it was kind of fun. And then I guess Dina Meyer is going to show up with me this year, and there's a special effects guy going to show up, and we're going to have a panel, and we're going to talk about, shooting with special effects and just, I guess, meeting and greeting all the fans. I think there's going to be a lot of Star Trek people there too, which is kind of fun because I'm a fan of Star Trek, even though I never was in it. But I still love it, so I'm going to have a good time watching that. And then it's been 15 years since Starship Troopers, which is hard to imagine.
Yeah,
but
it is.
No, what I find hard to imagine is that you just started doing cons last year.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've been busy. I have I've been working, but I also have 5 children. And I've been running around after them, and then I didn't know too much about the cons. I'd done Comic-Con for the big films for the studios, but I'd never knew about the cons too much. And then when I started doing it, it was Danielle Harris actually got me into them. She's an actress that I worked with who's done quite a few horror movies like Halloween and stuff, and she said, you should do these. It's great. You get to meet your fans, and I started doing it, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, and that's totally
yeah.
That's totally it. I mean, the funny thing is that you honestly, these people forget about that. They go to San Diego Comic-Con. They don't do the smaller ones, but that's where you really kind of get you get your average man. The guys who go, dude, I love Starship Troopers. I watch that thing whenever I can. Whenever it's on TV, I stop and go.
Absolutely.
Sit down. I have to watch it.
I am a huge fan of the Bug movie. I mean, it is just our default. If there's nothing else on, we just kind of it's there. Boom.
It's in.
It's like Shawshank Redemption. it's that or the Bug movie.
Well, that's a great film. Our film is a lot of fun too, but that one is a really good film. What's for me, it's fantastic is because I get people that stop me, it's been 15 years, but I get people who stop me several times a week and have me they either quote the movie or ask me to quote the movie or go, oh my God, I love Starship Troopers. And for me, it's interesting. And I get people tweet it to me all the time. There's constantly people tweeting different things. And so it's funny because I retweet them. They're like, oh my God, this is cool. And then, and somebody goes, don't you get bored of doing that? And I go, and I was thinking about it. I'm thinking, as an actor, you want to have something that touches people in some way, and the fact that people are so adamantly about especially Marines, they'll come to me or a lot of directors have said that, but they just love Starship Troopers and they talk about what an awesome movie it was and they start quoting it, and that's fantastic. You live to do something like that people constantly know what it is and they want to know more about it. And I get interviewed about it all the time still.
No joke. I can understand why. I mean, honestly, the funny thing, we laugh about it, because people are always like, Starship Troopers. I'm like, yeah, dude, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I could be stopped in the street and said, hey, give me a line from Starship Troopers or, whatever, I'd be like, dude, that's so awesome. You just made my day. Thanks.
It's all the time. It's totally, and they're so excited about it. So I have so much fun. But it's fun. I was picking up my kids the other day and, my younger ones, and these little boys that were with my daughters. They're two of my daughters. They're 8 and 10, and the boys go, "Wait a minute, you're Johnny Rico," and I'm looking at these 8 and 10-year-old boys going, "What are you doing watching that film?" And they're like, "My dad made me watch it with him," and I'm like.
Absolutely.
So it's so funny because even at my kids' school, the little boys, they're like, somehow walk up and like, "Johnny Rico," and I'm like, "Oh, hi guys," but it's so funny.
That is so awesome. I mean, it's funny. You got it. You got a face and a name. I mean, people will recognize you forever now, probably.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm EPing this. I'm an executive producer on Starship Troopers Invasion, which is an anime, which looks really cool. I feel like it's going to be coming out this summer too, and it is pretty awesome. Fun to look at, and I'm actually have a meeting with Sony tomorrow, and then another one on Tuesday about it. So, and they're still putting in things, and supposedly they're rebooting this franchise, and so we'll see. I think that's awesome. Somebody goes, "Hey, they shouldn't do that," but I think it would be awesome if they rebooted this.
Oh, especially in anime, it should be awesome. Yeah.
Oh man, well the anime is going to be great, but they're going to reboot the franchise from I think a live action as well.
Oh
wow. Well, Casper, unfortunately, we are all out of time today, but thanks for spending some time and chatting with us about everything. Folks, go out, check out the Pact, and if you're in Phoenix like we are, we're going to go see Casper Van Dien. Thanks, Casper.
Hey, I look forward to meeting you guys in person. That'll be great.
Awesome. All right, folks, we'll be back with more Slice of Sci-Fi right after this.
Because so many Americans think getting drunk is fun, we thought you might like to join us in the National Drinking Game. Just answer yes or no to the following 10 questions. Do you talk a lot about drinking?
Only when I'm awake.
Do you drink more than you used to?
I try
Do you gulp your drinks?
to. Only out of a glass.
Do you often take a drink to feel better? Do you drink alone?
Only if I'm stuck.
Do you ever forget what you did while you were drinking? Do you keep a bottle hidden somewhere for quick pick-me-ups?
How does he know?
Do you sometimes start drinking without really thinking about it?
Sometimes.
Do you need a drink to have fun?
I do now.
Do you ever take a drink in the morning to relieve a hangover?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. If you had 4 or more yes answers, then you may be one of over 9 million Americans with a drinking problem.
Hey, Slicer, Sean from Edwards with more
news from Flight Test Land.
May edition. To start with Flight Test Land news, we're going to start with F-35. F-35 completed its first fully armed up refueling sortie this week. Pretty important test to make sure that when you send one of these things into combat, you can send it in fully loaded with internal and external stores and still give it fuel. Also in Flight Test Land news, it was a bit of a sad time for Flight Test Land as they had to bid goodbye to T-1. This was one of the first production C-17 aircraft to roll off the assembly line in the early 1990s. And it has been the workhorse of the C-17 flight test program at Edwards Air Force Base ever since. Unfortunately, being the workhorse of the program has taken its toll on the airplane, and now she is being retired to the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. We'll miss you, T-1. I started my air flight test career with you. But on a really positive note, this week SpaceX completed their test burn of their engines for their upcoming May 7th launch. Yes, the much anticipated, much pushed, several times pushed back launch of the SpaceX Dragon capsule to the space station will proceed on May 7th. So by the time I record this, it won't happen, but by the time you listen to this, she should be docked with the International Space Station, folks. The first commercial spacecraft to do so.
Cool.
Way to go, SpaceX. Sean from Edwards out.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that all shakes out. Okay, we got 3 minutes to cover these last two. Go.
Netflix is currently talking to CBS about bringing back the popular Skeet Ulrich post-apocalyptic show on its streaming service called Jericho. That's right. Repeats are among the most popular streaming content Netflix has. They're looking at doing it like they're doing Arrested Development, right? Which they're doing extra seasons for. The difficulties are they already have commitments about some stuff they're currently developing, so cost may be an issue, as well as maybe they're not sure what it'll be like to get the cast and crew together again. Actor Lenny James is part of a pilot for ABC, so his availability could be in doubt. Early stages yet, but we're hoping.
And here really is the most important news story of the entire show. The burning questions surrounding, of course, the reboot of Total Recall, there is only one that is weighing on the minds of our listeners and readers. And that is whether or not Colin Farrell can step into Arnold's shoes. No. Whether his version is more faithful to the original Philip K. Dick. No. It's whether or not the woman with 3 breasts is going to be in the new version.
That is the question. That's right.
And we have the answer based on footage EW saw at the CinemaCon. The answer is yes.
Of course there is.
The 3-breasted woman will be included, and yes, she will bear all for Farrell's character in the film, just like the original. You all can sleep well now.
I feel much better. I am so ready for this reboot. Actually,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you did. Way to go.
No, I really am actually interested. I'm looking forward to this because I think this movie is ripe for a reboot. It really is. It's one of the few out there that I'm actually positively looking for. So.
Yeah.
We'll see. We shall see.
Do we make our 3-minute mark?
Yo, easily. Actually, you guys blasted right through it.
Zoom.
There you are. We actually have an extra minute.
So okay, well, we can talk about my birthday that just passed. That I didn't say.
Birthday to you.
No. We can't say. Wait. No. That's how we get sued.
No.
That's how we get sued. You don't say that.
Right.
That's
you don't
not
sing the
public domain.
song.
No, you cannot sing that anymore. No.
Say
Yeah.
Feliz.
That's
no.
No,
That's
you can't use that either.
So, anyways, it wasn't Cinco de Brio, but it was Cieso de Brio.
Nice.
That's the one.
Yeah. So, yes. So another year older, closer to Tom and Mike.
Aww.
That's not so bad.
You'll always be Grandpa Brian to me.
What'd you say?
Okay, that's going to do it for this show. You know the numbers, 206-339-TREK. That's 206-339-8735. Leave us some feedback.
What you say?
We'd be happy to play
Mike.
it on the next show, which we will see in a couple days.
Are we still recording?
Thanks so much, folks. Yes, we are.
Been the best year of your life.